Depending on how old your Kronos is, you have probably seen this image before. The clock battery is empty or nearing the end of its life. Basically, it's not a problem at all because the battery is actually only there to keep the time, just like in a normal PC, so that the time and date are correct. We would like to exchange that, and I will show you how to do it today on a first generation Korg Kronos 60. What is very important is that you must, of course, be careful where you place the device to avoid damaging all the faders, knobs, joysticks, and keyboards. We have now placed 2 pillows on the outside of this bed. The casing is on top of them. This means that there is not really much pressure on the keyboards, and especially there is no pressure on the controllers. I will now show you the casing completely from the bottom. Here you can see some screws. We need to unscrew all of them. At least with the Kronos 61 of the first generation, all these screws are the same, meaning you don't have to worry about where you screw them back in. Then you need to choose a suitable screwdriver or a compatible bit for a power drill. You must be careful not to over-tighten the screws when screwing them in, as this could damage them. I have now revoiced the video, so what I'm babbling about doesn't match what I'm saying. I did this together with an acquaintance whose Kronos it also was. So, we are going to unscrew now, remove all the screws and place them in a container so we can find them properly later. I have fast-forwarded this part because it's not that exciting. Now we can easily lift the cover or the bottom. Nothing is attached anymore, so we carefully set it aside and can then take a look at the inside. I will now briefly go over the entire device with the camera so you can see what it looks like from the inside. Here is the fan and the hard drive, along with some other boards. On the far left side is the main board, which we also know from PCs. Interestingly, it now seems that the battery in the X and in the Korg Kronos 61 is located in a different place. It might be in a different place on the Kronos too, because the motherboard is not exactly the same. I just had to search a bit for that. Basically, the battery is located near the RAM, as we can see here. It is a CR2232. We will simply replace it with a new one now. Since we have it open now, let's quickly vacuum the areas where dust and dirt accumulate. This is primarily the area of the fan, as air is drawn in or pushed out here. You should be careful and really not suck too hard to avoid damaging anything. Now that we are finished, we put the lid back on and then carefully screw everything back together. You need to pay a little attention to the edge at the front because it is somewhat movable. However, everything will align properly with the screws later if you pay a little attention. And be careful when tightening the screws so that they don't get stripped. Using a power screwdriver is not optimal for this. It's best to screw them in and then maybe tighten them by hand. In any case, be cautious. That's it. Carefully place the device back on the tripod, connect the cables, turn it on, and the message should disappear if you have inserted a fresh battery.